Hey all, welcome back to the channel, and this is going to be the last pre-Christmas review here on the channel. Yesterday, of course, we done the countdown of the top 10 best Transformers of 2023. That was kind of wild. And coming up on Friday, the 22nd of December, we will have this year's It's a Very Transformers Christmas. But today, I'm going to bring to you what is technically a Christmas gift to me by our buddy Ultra Megatronus, and it's this. It is the Transformers Studio Series Bumblebee movie Wheeljack. We all know Wheeljack is my guy. I didn't get this guy. I didn't really see this guy around, but he was certainly sent to me by our buddy Ultra Megatronus, and I can't thank him enough. Is he any good? He's pretty splendid, and we're going to find out why in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel and happiest of holidays. I, of course, am your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you are at it, light 'em up, baby. That's right, hit that notification bell. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that in the description down below. Also in the description down below, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. And this, of course, is Wheeljack. I really didn't know what to think about this. And of course, we have since learned that we're going to be getting the Origins Wheeljack with the G1 Cybertronian mode. This was the Bumblebee movie version, and it took Wheeljack and it put him back on Cybertron, and the developers, the designers, really were very lucky because while they had kind of a robot model from the film to sort of try to adhere to, there was no alt mode shown in the film, so they had full creative control to come up with an alt mode that honestly is pretty fantastic. Just how good is old Wheeljack here? Well, we're about to find out when we head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And as we inch ever closer to Christmas Day as of this recording, honestly, this is part of my holiday haul. It's a little bit early, thanks to a good friend of the channel, Ultra Megatronus. And not for nothing, but a little while ago, I looked at Antagony in episode 1131, and the Studio Series Soundwave. That thing was a bit rough, and that was in episode 1130, so 1130 and 1131. Those came from Starscream Wipe. They are also part of my, I'll say, holiday haul. I know everybody does a holiday haul. I don't, because I get it in dribs and drabs, right? So, Antagony, the Studio Series Core Class Soundwave, and now this guy. Anybody who knows me knows that my favorite Transformers character is Wheeljack. I was never a big fan of Q in the earlier films. I liked him fine, I just didn't like him as Wheeljack. The Rise of the Beast version of Wheeljack, the one that they call Pablo, I mean, fine character, I don't have an issue with it. I don't call him Urkelbot or any of that nonsense. But it's not at all Wheeljack. This is. And as soon as I made the gripe about the Rise of the Beast one and the earlier Q, there were people who said, oh, what a complainer, it was not G1. It's not a matter of being G1. This isn't G1. But you know what? You can look at it and tell that it is the embodiment of the character. Yes, it has the kind of, well, this is a bit of an off-white, but that whitish color that Wheeljack should have. It has the red, it has the green, and it even has like his ear light up pieces, and they're in beautiful translucent blue. We'll see that in a little bit. So, to me, this is the best design that you could possibly have for a live action Wheeljack with a Cybertronian mode, because of course the only time we see him is in that battle scene in the Bumblebee movie on Cybertron. So, bit of background there. Of course, before we look at him, we have to look at the packaging first. And we got our packaging here. By the way, he's a nice white here rather than the kind of creamy off-white color. I'm not angry about the creamy off-white color. I just find it to be a strange choice when we, you know, you can see he's white. Over here, we're told that it's 81. You see a close-up of his face. Over here, you see more of his, you know, body and torso. And of course, on the back, we have the different modes, the robot and the vehicle. He comes with the battle scene display stand, if that's your thing, and this pretty gorgeously sculpted rifle blaster thing that I'm pretty sure he used in that Cybertron battle. Yeah, this is cool, man. And case in point, these two Wheeljacks definitely look different. This guy is shockingly much smaller, which really kind of blows me away. But in looking at them, like, you can tell that both of these are Wheeljack. Obviously, I don't know what it was, Earthrise Kingdom one, that one, you know, had a few releases, and some people like it, some people don't. I do. I think it looks like a very quintessential Wheeljack. Like, it's pretty darn good. Yes, I do have a couple of upgrade kits on him, courtesy of our buddy Joe. And yes, I do enjoy the transformation for him and whatnot. Is it perfect? No, but mine is generally in pretty darn good shape. So I do like it. But you can look at both of them and you can see the inspiration here. If you look at that Rise of the Beast version, you don't see the inspiration. It makes no sense. If you look at Q, I don't see the inspiration. It makes no sense. But this does, which is really going to bode well when I go into his actual overall score for look. So, okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of scores for this guy. Look, I mean, it's the best looking movie Wheeljack we've had because it looks like Wheeljack. If we compare it to the actual animation, I mean, like, the white is where it should be. Granted, this is a little more of an off-white. The gunmetal gray and stuff is basically where it should be. The green, the red, that's exactly as it should be, even down to the Autobot logo on his chest, the windshield kind of making a semicircle on his tummy, the metallic blue on his like earpieces and on his eyes, and all the silver, tons of paint. If it's not perfect, it's pretty close to it. I'm going to say 9.75. Like, really, really close. What about the articulation for the guy? Well, honestly, the articulation is excellent. I'm going to point out a couple of things right now, though. First, this can go stored on his back. That's his rifle. Yes, it can go in his hand. If I can... I don't know why... There you go. I don't know why I always fiddle with putting it in. It fits in there fine. It's just... I don't know, butterfingers, I guess. And down under his arm, really that's storage for vehicle mode, but there's a rectangular tab, you know, right here that if you want in robot mode, if I can get it, I should be able to get it. I've gotten it already. Yeah, like you can give him like a underslung type of blaster, I suppose, if you're so inclined to do that. I'm just going to take that off. Also, I want to try and show you guys, if I can, the head up close. But 9.75 for the look. Excellent start for this dude. I mean, look at that head, the silver on the face. Look how bright the eyes pop. I thought that the earpieces were translucent, but they're not. They're painted blue as well. I mean, it's beautiful, man. Okay, so with a 9.75, the articulation now, we have a head that goes left, right, up, and down. The arms go all the way around, out to the side. By the way, the wing piece moves with it. Arm all the way up. I don't think there's anything at the wrist, nothing I could discern anyway. We do have a waist rotation. It only goes so far, but it's going to give you everything that you absolutely could need. Legs forward, very far, back, very far. Thigh swivel, and like no hollowness or anything, man. And if not 90, then a good 85, 87 degrees at the knee. And there is ankle tilt. It's not a lot, it's only a bit, and there's a ball joint in there that is real tight, at least at some copies. Some people have even overlooked it and thought that he had no ankle tilt, but he does. It's just, it's a bit challenging. The dude only clocks in at 69 grams, but the amount of engineering and paint on this guy, I think, makes up for the loss of mass of a traditional deluxe. You know, I had the same sort of gripe when I talked about the Studio Series 86 Hot Rod, and I mean, the engineering on that's fine. It has no hollow bits. The engineering on this fine. Has no hollow bits. The difference in grams, including all accessories. Now, granted, this guy only has one accessory, and that guy has a bunch of accessories, but still, looking at the amount of plastic used, quite frankly, they're very comparable with a difference of, get this, 7 grams. That's it. That's all it is. And for some reason that was sold as a Voyager. It's not. And this is a deluxe. It absolutely is. So while the mass is a bit small here, yes, I do think the paint, like the cream here and the green and the red, or the blue and the silver up here, or even the green down here, or the entire foot is painted. So like there's a significant amount. And yeah, so I think there's a lot of parts. It's great engineering and it's great paint. The only real weakness when it comes to the articulation that I can discern is I wish the hips went out further than that, right? You know, I mean, they don't, such is life, c'est la vie, but a bit of a shame. I'm going to say overall, though, that, you know what, I didn't really notice until doing the review that the hips couldn't go out that far because everything else is done so well. I'm going to say that it's a solid 9. Right? So overall right now, this guy's getting about a 9.35 before we go into the transformation. And not for nothing, the transformation's insane. Let's get into it. We're going to put these wing pieces down. We're going to pick off the arm pieces, shoulder pieces a bit. Some people have said that these are very loose on theirs. That's a bummer. It's not on mine, but I can see that being a major issue that would ruin this guy for you. Turn the head to the side and straighten it out, and we're going to leave that back. Take this and straighten it all the way up and come down under here and bring that piece out. All of that now nice and flipped out. It says to bring it down, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm just going to kind of leave it here. Now we do the arms. They're wild. That's the best thing I could say. So you take the arms and you kind of bring them forward, but I find I need to have them up a little bit to sort of clear here. We're going to rotate this in, but as we rotate it in, we should push the arm back because the arm should be sticking out through the back of the vehicle. Let me do it again over here. We have it out, and as we rotate this rear tire to fit it in under the roof here, we kind of rotate the arm up, and we keep all of that now back here. Great. Wonderful. Right now, it kind of looks like a mess. It's not going to stay that way, I promise. Let's do the legs next. We rotate this piece up, and it should be able to fit in. Now, I do find that to get the tabs and stuff lined up, I need to kind of massage them together. I'm going to have to do that off screen, unfortunately, because it's just, I need to be able to look at it, and the angle here just isn't conducive to it. It's very snug. It's beautiful, actually. It's very elegant. But yeah, I'm not going to get them lined up without looking pretty close at it. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll just pick up the transformation after. Oops, bonus points if you were watching during the transformation and saw what I did wrong. So I did swivel these up. However, I forgot to turn the waist around. The waist does need to go turned around. So turn the waist around, then swivel these up and lock them in. I still find I need to, I don't know how to put this. I need to massage the tab and the into the slot, like, to get it to fit. Now it's not tight. It's tight to hold. It's not uncomfortably tight or anything like that. But it does take a little bit of work. Okay, so we bend at the knee here, and now we take the shin and we rotate that up, and we take the shin and we rotate that up, and we flip up a foot, and we flip up a foot, and we should be able to straighten that leg up and straighten that leg up. Bring this tire down on the side and this tire down on the side. And now these two tires need to also finagle in here, and the feet will kind of like lock into them. So let's see if I can do that. Maybe I can actually get, yeah, look at that. I think I got it. I believe I got it. There you go. Now I got it. And now these two feet, I guess, they go together. Very, very tight the first time I did it. Not bad at all today. The head, it comes all the way down and goes like in between the legs, up and under right there. And like underneath, not for nothing, but underneath looks like a car, not a robot. This comes down. A lot of people have had issue with their windshield, whatever, tabbing in, and it leaves a bit of a gap. Mine usually goes in okay. Sometimes it doesn't. It's not a big deal. And then finally, we're going to bring this arm up, and the hand kind of goes in under the roof. It's very easy to do, though. And then finally, we put the arms here together. And as I think I mentioned, there are tabs right here, or slots right here. They're on the underside of his arm in robot mode. So at this point you could take the rectangular blaster and it should be able to, I don't know if I'm going to, there you go, should be able to fit in right there just like that. I'm just going to make sure I have everything solidified. We're going to see him next to the Earthrise in his alt mode, but for all intents and purposes, boom, here we have Bumblebee Wheeljack in his alt mode. By the way, the score for this, 10. He was getting a 9.35. This is a 10. This dude's easily like a 9.5 or something, man. He's fantastic. And here we have both Wheeljacks. The cybertronian mode here was completely made up because he didn't show it in the film, but you can still tell that it's in the spirit of G1 Wheeljack. Even this is slightly stylized, like the number is wrong, for example, right? But both of these, you look at them and you know, like, that's Wheeljack. It's recognizable as the character. The transformation, the engineering here is bonkers for the size. Totally solid, no hollow pieces. It's fantastic. Fantastic. 10. He was getting a 9.35. He has a 10 for the transformation. Taking this guy out of it, this guy rolls just fine. I will note a couple of things that I kind of glossed over there at the end. The hands, you don't just fold the arms up, but the hands actually kind of go slightly in under the roof. Easy to fit in there because of the double jointed elbows. And then you tab the two arms together and the slots are open enough to be able to put this blaster in. So a couple of very minor things about the transformation, but like even the paint on the wheels, like rolls great. I mean, what a win for a Wheeljack, honestly. Overall score, 9.75 to 9.8. Absolutely fantastic Wheeljack. And here we are once again, and here he is, and like Wheeljack is pretty fantastic. So, granted, I was concerned about his mass being a little bit lighter, and it is a little bit lighter than I would like. However, is that made up for in other areas? Well, you know what? He has a lot of paint on his face. The red is paint, the green is paint. All of the green down here is paint. I think the white on his shoulders, I believe that's paint. I think all of the white on the front here, this is all paint over translucent, I think. So there's a significant amount of paint on the guy. Even like in terms of like his wheels inside here, got silver paint. Maybe some of the gunmetal gray, but that's hard to say for sure. The articulation is largely unhindered. I wish that the hips could go out a little bit more, but everything else is done so well and so right that I kind of don't really notice it unless I'm being nitpicky about it. And then we get to the transformation. The transformation here is brilliant. It is involved, but at the same time interesting. It is not hard to accomplish, but you do have to make sure that, especially along the sides of the car, that you line everything up and tab it in just right. Luckily, if you're able to get a good vantage point to look at it, which honestly, doing a review doesn't really lend itself very well to that, but if you can get a good vantage point, everything tabs in very smoothly, very easily, and when you decide to go back to robot mode, everything untabs smoothly and easily. Excellent tolerances, high parts count, creative engineering, lots of paint. That's an entire smorgasbord of elements that does help make up for the loss of some of the mass. Do I wish he had a little bit more? Absolutely. But I find that I'm satiated enough with everything that's done right here that I can still say he is a fantastic deluxe. Let me know what you think about the Bumblebee movie Wheeljack. Do you love him? Do you hate him? Are you indifferent? I appreciate you guys coming by and giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through Spring. Or, of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you're at it, please hit the subscribe button. Stick around. Have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single solitary day, you right there, you do make a difference in the world, and I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way, baby, right here, inside the videos.